Hello and welcome to this episode of Inside Southeastern Football with head coach Ron Roberts. I'm Alan Waddell and we're taping right here from the Victory Club where we're right around the corner from kickoff as your Lions open their 2013 season against Southeast Missouri right here at Strawberry Stadium. And Coach, it's hard to believe it, but a whole year's gone past and we're about ready to kick off the 2013 season. I know you got to be excited.
Oh yeah, we're very excited about everything that has taken place over last year. Not just our players getting themselves prepared, recruiting, but the upgrades to our facilities and the stadium, and we're very excited about everything 2013 brings.
You're talking about the upgrades of facility. If you haven't had a chance to walk through the Dugas Center, some new murals have gone up in the lobby, also in the football area, and then also right over our shoulders here is the new video board that's gone up that has really enhanced the atmosphere here at Strawberry Stadium.
No doubt. It's obviously an exciting time to be a Lion, and we're excited about where our program's headed.
Well, Coach, we're going to take a look at this show as we're going to break down the offensive, defensive, and special teams unit. Also take a look at the 2013 schedule. You brought in some new pieces this year. There's a lot of buzz going around the Hammond community about your program. And I know when you took the job here, you said we're here to compete for Southland Conference championships and compete for national championships. And I know from talking to you off the air, you believe you're closer going into this season than you were a year ago.
Well, obviously, I think we made some huge strides forward in that, talent-wise, and obviously getting our young guys just getting more developed and ready to go. So we're excited that we're getting the pieces of the puzzle together. But right now we still got a lot of work to do. We've got some things we got to get better at, and you want to see this progress obviously throughout the season and get better on a weekly basis.
All right, we're going to start the show by taking a look at the 2013 Lion offense. Here's the story. Coming off a season in which it won 5 of its last 8 games while posting its best finish in the Southland Conference since joining the league back in 2005, the Southeastern Louisiana football team under second-year head coach Ron Roberts looks to take the next step in its chase for a conference title. With 49 returning letter winners, including 18 starters, along with a very talented group of newcomers on the roster, the expectations at Southeastern have never been higher. 7 starters return on offense, with 3 returning on the offensive line, highlighted by All-American candidate Gasten Gabriel. Gabriel, a 6'5", 300-pound senior out of St. Francisville, Louisiana, started all 11 games last year and was second-team All-Conference. Left guard Geremy Wilson from Galveston, Texas, will join Gabriel. The 6'3", 305-pound senior started all 11 games in 2012, along with Lake Charles native Marshall Paris. Paris, listed at 6'2", 280, started all 11 games in 2012 at center for the Lions. Joe Graves is back this year along with Taylor Romero. Both Graves and Romero are running with the second team as they continue to improve their game. Some newcomers to the offensive line are left guard Lawrence Ramsey. Ramsey highlights a group of talented junior college transfers that include Ryan Cochran, Jonathan Braddock, DJ Williams, Jesse Miranda, along with the incoming freshmen Travis Romero and Charles Satakra. The Lions continue to improve up front, and with 3 fifth-year seniors anchoring the first team, the play of the offensive line as a whole has improved.
We're real pleased where they are right now. I think we're, you know, as you said, we got 3 guys coming back and then a bunch of new guys, and so we're still working hard trying to improve and get better every day, but we have much more depth than we had last year.
Man, we've been together since '09, so we all been in the trenches. We got our battle wounds. And I feel like us being as close as we are, we keep the O-line together.
I have so much experience in the fact that I think we're ready to handle it. We've seen a lot of situations and we have plenty of experience, and that's to be needed on the offensive line, leadership.
In the past, we've only had about 1 senior, 1 or 2 seniors on the O-line. This year we have 3. We've all been together since 2009. One of the big things that we just try to get together is we just try to tell the guys just take it one play at a time. That's a lot of things the young guys don't understand is just take it one play at a time. And one thing is we can't do it without the young guys. We have, I don't know if anybody knows, we have also 5 juniors. And we have some freshmen that are coming into play too.
The player who will benefit the most from an improved offensive line is quarterback newcomer Bryan Bennett. Bennett has been the talk of the town since announcing during the offseason that he would be transferring to Southeastern from the University of Oregon. The 6'3", 205-pound junior hails from Encino, California. Bryan saw action in 18 games for the Ducks over the last 2 years. Boasting speed, athleticism, and a strong arm, Bennett is a dual-threat quarterback that will bring some new wrinkles to the offense. Bennett has spent this past offseason working with offensive coordinator Greg Stevens to learn the Lion playbook and offensive schemes.
I'm really excited to see what we're going to do this season. You know, I think we got a lot of guys on the team with great skill set. They can really play some ball, and you know, I know we've been working hard in this offseason since spring. We had a good spring and added some more guys since the spring. So I'm just really excited to see, you know, how everything plays out coming into fall camp and going throughout this season.
Well, he brings a lot to the team, especially athletically. He's very athletic and can really run, and he can throw the ball. And the thing I'm pleased with is he keeps getting better every day, I think. And he's been working hard.
Behind Bennett on the depth chart is junior Jordan Barnett. Barnett has battled injuries since arriving on campus. Barnett has a firm grasp of the playbook and has the faith of the coaching staff and his teammates that he can be an effective signal caller when he is on the field. Also working out with the quarterbacks is Pasadena, California native Justin Postuma and Denham Springs native Tanner Wells. Southeastern will continue to feature a balanced attack on paper and have a deep stable of running backs ready to make an impact. After 2012, the need for depth at the running back position was evident as injuries forced a pair of true freshmen to carry the load. Xavier Roberson and Rasheed Harrell were up to the task.
Rasheed and Xavier both had good fall camps, and we're real pleased with where they're at. And obviously, I think they both put on quite a bit of weight from last year, so they're a little bigger and faster and stronger. And we're looking forward to the year and the seasons those two guys can have.
The fall camp is going pretty well. All the backs getting to know the system really well. We getting stronger, getting faster as the days go by. We really just coming out every day trying to get better every day. The backfield is really strong.
The Lions' rushing attack will also feature newcomer Cody Sutton. Sutton comes to Hammond after playing his freshman season at the University of Wyoming. Also new to the Lion backfield is junior college transfer Darius Guy. Guy rushed for over 850 yards and 9 touchdowns last year at Copiah Lincoln Community College. The Lions will feature a veteran receiving corps heading into the 2013 season. Leading the list of returnees is senior Tony McCray, who was honorable mention all-conference in 2012. McCray will see action as the X-receiver. McCray led all the Lions in receptions last year with 28 for 401 yards. McCray will be joined by fellow senior Marquise Frugier, who had 24 catches last year, sophomore Jeff Smiley, who had 21 catches in 2012, and Chris Malott, who had 10 receptions last year.
Those 4 guys you mentioned, we're real pleased with where they're at. They've worked real hard this summer, got themselves in great shape. We've had a couple small injuries. Tony's been out a little bit with the hamstring and stuff, but he's getting back. And Marquise missed a couple practices with his knee, but we're pleased with those guys are.
Newcomer Marquise Hayes, Isaiah Kepley, Devontae Scott, and Kendrick Peoples round out the Lion air attack and should continue to build on last year's success. The last position on the offense that needs to be looked at is the tight end position. The Lions have 2 veteran tight ends in Jeremy Myers and Taylor Jenkins. Myers finished 2012 with 21 catches for 190 yards, and Jenkins caught the 4th quarter touchdown that saw the Lions finish off in-state rival McNeese State last season. Carl Pearson could also see playing time at tight end. The Lions offense has been hard at work in fall camp since August the 2nd as they try to mesh the returning talent with the newcomers in hopes of putting some big numbers on that new Strawberry Stadium scoreboard this year. Well, Coach, a year ago when you looked at the offensive side of the football, it seemed like there was a lot of new guys. Well, this year, a lot of those guys that played quality snaps a year ago are back for this season. And I know a big buzz around Hammond has been the addition of quarterback Bryan Bennett, as this looks to be a very exciting group on the offensive side of the football this year.
I believe so. We've got a huge number of veterans, guys coming back with game experience, and we've added a lot of weapons on the offensive side of the ball. I think we've got a depth of skill players there that are going to be able to make some things happen exciting for our Lions in 2013.
All right, well, let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to have a lot more for you right here on Inside Southeastern Football with head coach Ron Roberts right here from the Victory Club. Welcome back to Inside Southeastern Football with head coach Ron Roberts as we tape right here from the Victory Club as we anticipate the kickoff of 2013 as your Lions will host Southeast Missouri. We're now going to take a look at the 2013 Lion defense. Improved depth is a constant theme for Southeastern on the defensive side of the ball, and it all starts up front with the defensive line in Southeastern's 3-3-5 scheme under defensive coordinator Pete Golding. A pair of seniors anchor the line for the Lions. Greg Triay will anchor the line at nose guard while Geremy Williams will see time at defensive end. Triay had 27 tackles in 2012 while Williams had 22. Junior Jacob Newman came out of spring practice with a handle on the other defensive end spot. A.J. Bowen, William Stream, John Andrews, and Titus Charles will also see time on the front line.
The big thing coming out of spring, obviously we had Newman there and Geremy Williams, and we moved Greg Triay, who played in for us last year, into the nose spot. And all 3 of those guys are pretty cerebral players that understand the system now, understand our expectations, are playing real well for us.
The camp's going pretty good right now. So far the D-line's looking pretty good. Right now we're at a good 5 to 6 man deep, but right now we're trying to get at least 9. So that way we have a good rotation.
The linebacker core will be the strength of the defense with the return of middle linebacker Cqulin Hubert. Hubert, who saw time last year at outside linebacker, moves inside. Hubert had 9.5 tackles for loss last year while recording 60 total tackles and forcing 2 fumbles. Ponchatoula native and junior linebacker Caleb Muse will anchor the outside in 2013. Muse led Southeastern with 80 tackles a year ago.
The big thing, we try to bump Q back inside because he is an instinctive football player that has a knack for it, you know, and so the big thing is we wanted to be able to scrape him a bunch and stunt that front, and then Muse is a little better pass rusher and is a little more physical versus those tight ends with a little lower pad level, so we felt like it was a good fit for us and for the kids as well.
Defensively, we've always been, you know, very talented. But, you know, over spring and summer, we become a lot better mentally. You know, we stay on the board. You know, we're always watching film. And I think the mental part of the game is going to slow a lot of things down for us and allow us to make a lot more plays than we did last season.
Man, we got to get in the film room. You know, it all starts in the film room. We got to get in the film room and we got to communicate. Communication is the key to the game, you know. You can't just come out here and be quiet and make the game the secret. Even if the offense know you play, you're supposed to have the mindset of you can't stop me even if you know what play I'm doing.
On the other side, newcomer Isaiah Corbett will see action. Corbett comes to Southeastern by way of Coahoma Community College and was originally with Coach Ron Roberts his last season at Delta State. Former defensive lineman Justin Church shifts to linebacker this year to bring some depth to the linebacking core. Amite native Drew Masita is back for his junior season. Last season, Masita recorded 43 tackles and had 2 sacks and 1 interception.
I think linebackers, we've came a big step from last year, but saying that, we still got a lot, you know, we can't be complacent. We got a lot of way to go. You know, me and Q kind of rolling in and out and stuff like that. Muse looks really good. We got Church and we got slick Isaiah Corbett on the other side too.
Sophomore Derek Robinson will also figure in the mix at linebacker, along with newcomers Hunter Bryan, Toby Briggs, sophomore Caleb Young, Covington native Tyler Terrell, and Amite native Jawan Rogers. The Lion defensive backfield will have a huge hole to fill with the loss of Atlanta Falcons second-round pick Robert Alford. Alford was named an All-American for his play last year and was named the FCS Defensive Player of the Year by One Football publication. Back this year to help fill the gap of the Alford loss are seniors Todd Washington, Kevin Harmon, John Graves, and Theo Alexander. Lutcher native Todd Washington was named All-Conference Honorable Mention in 2012 after breaking up a team-high 9 passes.
I mean, I think it's good. Anytime you have, you know, any kid at any position that's been in your system for a year, it's great. But especially in the back end, you know, the multiple coverages that we run and the checks that we run, you know, that year later actually lets those kids play with a little more ability. I think a lot of time last year there was some confusion. They were thinking a little too much and they weren't reacting. You know, to where hopefully we're a little older, a little more mature, we understand the scheme, to where hopefully we should be able to get our hands on some more footballs.
Another senior who will see time on the back end is senior Kevin Harmon. Harmon saw action in all 11 games last year and will be joined by fellow senior John Graves, who was second on the team last season with 70 tackles, and Theo Alexander, who recorded 53 tackles a year ago. Depth of the defensive back position is evident with the return of juniors Maurice Sutton, Tyler Stoddard, and Tommy Elliott. Sutton and Stoddard both had solid seasons last year as they combined to record over 120 tackles. Like Washington, Stoddard is on the all-conference watch list for 2013. Also back this year is Tampa, Florida native Denzel Thompson. Thompson saw action in 10 games last year and helped seal the deal in the Northwestern State game with a vicious sack and forced fumble on the Demon signal caller. Thompson had 9 tackles along with an interception to go along with his forced fumble.
I'll say this camp, I like the way we focus. Like, we have a lot more focus coming in this camp. Everybody's getting the playbooks. We teaching the newcomers the plays.
Kentwood native Harlan Miller, Josh Dakin, Delwyn Davis, Rufus Wolacoli, and freshman Trenton Trosclair also will figure into the Lions' plans at defensive back. Overall, the Lions returned 9 defensive starters from 2012 and 24 letter winners. Like the offense, the defensive players reported to fall camp on August the 2nd and began work for the 2013 season. Well, Coach, we take a look at the 2013 defense right there, and I think the key throughout both offense and defense is the word depth. And right now you added some quality depth to this defensive unit.
Yeah, and hopefully, you know, it needs to, you know, turn into making people play at a higher level and play more quality football. And that's what we're looking forward to in 2013. Not only just add the depth because it's there, but we want to make sure that we are turning ourselves into a better football team because guys are being allowed to play at a higher level.
All right, well, let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the 2013 schedule right here on Inside Southeastern Football with head coach Ron Roberts. Welcome back to Inside Southeastern Football with head coach Ron Roberts as we tape right here from the Victory Club as we approach the 2013 season. We're now going to take a look at a group that got a lot of headlines in 2012, and that is your special teams unit for your Southeastern Lions. One thing obvious about a Ron Roberts coach football team is that the coaching staff places just as much emphasis on special teams as they do on offense and defense. Last year, several special team plays became the talk of the town as the Lions ran fake punts, fake field goals, all while being explosive in the kickoff return and punt return phase. Handling field goals for the Lions will be senior Seth Sebastian. Sebastian was near perfect on extra points last year, making 23 of 24. Pushing Sebastian for playing time at the position is junior Ryan Adams, who will also handle kickoff duties for Southeastern.
It's a good battle right now. I think competition's always good. But right now, they're neck and neck. I mean, it's not just coach speak. I don't think there is a starter right now. We're battling. They were even, exactly the same in the first scrimmage. They've had about the same consistency.
Handling kickoff return duties this year will be running back Xavier Roberson. Roberson fell into that role last year and took 2 kickoffs to the house, one in the Stephen F. Austin game and one versus Nicholls State. And Roberson is back to return kicks this year along with sophomore wide receiver Jeff Smiley.
I'm excited about our kick returners. You know, I was excited the way that Roberson finished up the season. I think we do have some other guys that can do some things as well that can help us.
Matt McCormick is back for his senior year and will handle the punting duties for the Lions. Junior Tim Callahan is pushing McCormick for that role.
About the same as the field goal kickers. You know, I'd say they're neck and neck. I would say that in the first scrimmage, Matt performed a little bit better. If you're just talking production, you know, his average was a little bit higher. The hang times were similar.
Last year, we saw many exciting plays in special teams, whether it was punt returns for touchdowns against Lamar or kickoff returns versus Nicholls. One thing is sure, special team play for the Lions is not just going through the motions. When it comes to this phase of the game, the Lions have and will use every weapon at their disposal. And if they catch you sleeping, they will make you pay for it. Coach, we always know the third phase of the game, the special teams, is very important to any successful football program. Obviously, it's a big part of your program, the special teams unit. And you have some guys that were gone from a year ago that now new guys have to step up for your special teams this year.
Right, and we've got some good competition going on at that battle as well. And you know, our punting duties right now, pretty tight battle between McCormick and Tim Callahan, and so we're excited to see where that's going to take us. I don't know. You know, Matt has really came in and has kicked a lot better than he has in the last year and a half. He's really found a sweet spot on his foot, and he's really getting a hold of the ball and doing some really good things with it, so we're excited about that.
Coach, we also saw some exciting times in the return game a year ago, obviously with Xavier Roberson the last few ball games with a couple touchdowns returned to the house, and then but now Robert Alford's gone returning punts. Who's going to return punts for your club this year?
I think you may see a couple guys doing it, but probably Harlan Miller is probably, if we went Harlan Miller, Marquise Rouget, and Cody Sutton, probably the 3 right now, unless somebody else emerges in that group. But right now, I think Harlan Miller will be our guy game 1.
All right, it's now time to take a look at the 2013 schedule for your Southeastern Lions. The last time most fans saw their Lions was as they were walking off the field carrying the River Bell Trophy over their head at Nicholls State last November. Well, the Lions went through spring and fall camp and now prepare to tackle their 2013 schedule. First up, the Lions will welcome Southeast Missouri to Hammond on Thursday, October the 29th for the season opener. The Red Hawks from the Ohio Valley Conference finished 2012 with a 3-8 record, and Red Hawk coach Tony Samuel welcomes back 10 starters from the 2012 squad. The Red Hawks lost 23 lettermen from last year and will run a multiple offense scheme along with a 4-3 defense. After facing Southeast Missouri, the Lions will have 9 days to get ready for the TCU Horned Frogs. Southeastern will travel to Fort Worth for a September the 7th contest with TCU. The Horned Frogs are coming off a 7-6 season that saw them finish 5th in the Big 12 race. TCU has 17 starters returning for Coach Gary Patterson's squad, and TCU will run a multiple offensive scheme and a 4-2-5 defensive scheme. Patterson is 116-36 in his 12 years at TCU. Kickoff is set for 11 a.m. and will be televised on the Fox Sports Southwest network. The Lions then return the home and home to South Dakota State on September the 14th as they travel to Brookings, South Dakota to face the Jackrabbits. The Jackrabbits are coming off a 9-4 season that saw them finish 2nd in the Missouri Valley Conference, and in the preseason, they're ranked in the top 10 in most publications. The Jackrabbits lost 10 starters off the 2012 squad. When South Dakota State is on offense, they'll run a pro-style offense and a 4-3 defense. The Lions are looking to pay the Jackrabbits back for the loss last year. If being away from home is hard, then it only gets harder for Southeastern as they go on the road for a 3rd straight week, when on September the 21st, the Lions travel to Birmingham, Alabama to face the SAMFORD Bulldogs. SAMFORD returns 15 starters from last year's 7-4 team that finished 4th in the Southern Conference. SAMFORD, coached by former Heisman Trophy winner Pat Sullivan, will be playing their first home game of the season after opening up on the road for 3 straight weeks. The Bulldogs run a multiple offense and a 4-3 defense. After an off week, the Lions return to the friendly confines of Strawberry Stadium when new Southland Conference member Incarnate Word rolls into Hammond for an October the 5th date with the Lions. The Cardinals are coming off a 2-9 season. The Cardinals will play this season as an independent before playing a full Southland Conference schedule next year. On October the 12th, the Lions open up Southland Conference play as they welcome the Stephen F. Austin Lumberjacks to Hammond. Last season, Southeastern beat Stephen F. 42-27, which helped send the Lumberjacks to their 5-6 finish. Coach J.C. Harper returned 16 starters from a year ago. After 2 straight home games, the Lions hit the road again as they travel to Natchitoches, Louisiana for an October the 19th matchup with Northwestern State. The Demons are coming off a 4-7 season, and new head coach Jay Thomas returned 16 starters from last year. History tells us that the Lions and Demons have hooked up 56 times over the years, with the home team winning nearly 65% of the time, and with each game being tightly contested. Game 8 of the season finds the Lions back home as they prepare to face the Lamar Cardinals. Last season, the Lions went to Beaumont and beat Lamar 31-21, thanks to some key special teams play. This season, the Cardinals returned 19 starters from last year's 4-8 team. Game 9 finds the Lions back on the road as they travel to Lake Charles to take on the McNeese State Cowboys on November the 2nd. Last year, the Lions opened up conference play with a thrilling 25-24 win over the Cowboys. McNeese State returned 16 starters from last year. Game 10 finds Southeastern on the road at one of the Southland's toughest venues as they travel to Conway, Arkansas to face Central Arkansas. The Bears are coming off of a 9-3 season where they made it to the second round of the playoffs. Coach Clint Conk returns 20 starters from last year, including all Southland Conference performing quarterback Winrick Smothers, and the Bears run a multiple offense and a 4-3 defense. The Lions close out the 2013 season with their last 2 games at home, when on November the 16th they welcome Sam Houston State to Hammond. The Bearcats are coming off an 11-4 season and a return trip to the FCS title game for the 2nd year in a row. The Bearcats lost 11 starters from 2012 but returned some major weapons on offense. Like every season, the Lions wrap up the regular season against in-state rival Nicholls State. Last season, the Lions traveled to Thibodaux and beat the Colonels 35-16 to finish off a conference sweep of the state of Louisiana. This year, Coach Charlie Stubbs returns all 22 starters from a year ago when the Colonels finished 1-10. The 2 teams will once again hook up for the rights to the River Bell Trophy. Coach, I think what jumps out from looking at that schedule is, wow, it's a very tough schedule that your program has this year. You look at it, there's 3 teams in the top 7 in FCS preseason on your schedule, 2 of those teams on the road. It's a very challenging schedule for your club and some great opportunities to get some recognition nationally. No doubt, and that's a big part of it. We're going to get an opportunity to play some quality opponents early, chance to evaluate our ability on a national level, and hopefully get an opportunity for us to step to the plate and get better as a football team before we go into conference play. Well, Coach, your team opens up against Southeast Missouri. We're going to take a look at those guys in just a few moments, but then after that, you're on the road for the entire month of September. How important is getting off to the first win at home to your season? That's going to be big. Obviously, you always want to win that first home game, just for momentum purposes more than anything. But and that 3-game home stretch is going to say a lot about our mental toughness to be able to do that. Because when you got to take a 8-hour bus ride here and then fly up here, they're going to be tired. We're going to be a little weary, and we're going to find out where we are because our ability to turn around and concentrate and put together a quality football game. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to take a look at Southeast Missouri, and we will wrap it up right here on Inside Southeastern Football with head coach Ron Roberts.
Do you know where your beer is brewed? With 12 breweries spread all across the United States, your next Budweiser is closer than you think. You might even say we're America's largest local brewer, meaning that Bud in your hand is all but guaranteed to be one of the freshest beers at the bar. Discover everything it takes to make your beer a Budweiser at TrackYourBud.com.
Inside Southeastern Football is made possible by Hammond Nursing Home. Since 1974, owner Ray Knockan has worked to make Hammond Nursing Home this area's premier nursing home. Knockan, a football standout for the Lions in 1952 and 1953, played under legendary coach Stan Galloway. And in 1958, Ray Knockan graduated from Southeastern and married the love of his life, Miss Ruth Knockan. For almost 40 years now, the Knockan family has worked to make Hammond Nursing Home an exciting senior living community, offering everything you need and want in retirement living, including social programs, activities, rehabilitation, and nursing programs. Hammond Nursing Home offers a full range of assisted care and services for seniors. For more information on Hammond Nursing Home, please visit hammondnursinghome.net or call area code 985-542-1200. Hammond Nursing Home and the Knockan family, a proud supporter of Southeastern Louisiana University, the Knockan Strength and Conditioning Center, and Southeastern Athletics.
Welcome back to Inside Southeastern Football with head coach Ron Roberson. We're going to wrap it up here on our show, and we're going to finish the show, Coach, by talking about your first opponent, Southeast Missouri, as it's right around the corner from kickoff. And, Coach, this is a good football team. It's an FCS program. They've been up and down a little bit the last couple of years, but it seems like the last few years we've been playing those guarantee games to open the year. Now we have an opportunity to play a home game against an FCS opponent. It's a great measuring stick for our program, and our home fans will have a great opportunity to watch it.
It's a great opportunity for our home fans to come out here and pack Strawberry Stadium to open the season out with and really get behind it and create some momentum for the future. It's a Thursday night home game, so you know that already, but we expect you to have your season tickets and come on out and watch that game. There's going to be a lot of tailgating festivities. It's going to be a big atmosphere for Southeastern football. And, Coach, good luck opening up in the first game of the year. Well, thank you very much.
And before we go, we also want to mention that the fans will have one more time to take a look at the new video board on that first game against Southeast Missouri, as that's a very exciting time for our program. We've been behind a little bit on that, but now we've caught up, and this is one of the best boards in the conference.
No, we're very excited about it, and the atmosphere it's going to help create here at Strawberry Stadium.
All right, well, that's going to do it for us. Thank you so much for joining us right here on Inside Southeastern Football with head coach Ron Roberts. I'm Alan Waddell. We'll see you next time.